Hi, my name is Jesper. I'm the co-founder and chief operating officer of GraphoGame, the early literacy app solving illiteracy around the world. And we are living in a global literacy crisis. There's no question of that. 250 million children cannot read as we speak. And they estimate that 1.2 trillion US dollars are lost by countries in tax revenue and other things due to illiteracy. So, what causes illiteracy and why do we still have it? Well, it's shown that parents with little schooling has a very important role in why children become illiterate in the next generation. The lack of books, lack of learning content and engaging content for kids to get excited about literacy, that is not available to them always. Difficult living conditions, not having access to the internet to learn things, no credit card to buy apps. And then finally, learning disabilities or learning differences, such as dyslexia, really can limit someone's access to literacy. So, what we're trying to do here at GraphoGame is provide the world with an easy to use, accessible, and affordable application that achieves basic literacy as effectively as one-to-one teacher support. And we always research this so that we can prove that that is the case in that country. So what does GraphoGame do? Well, it's using a gamified methodology to teach letters, syllables, and words, and the phonetic sound that they make. So we're using a proprietary phonetic methodology that adapts to the skill level of the child. So if a child is very good at literacy, the content of the game is much harder. And if they struggle with it or they're early stage, the game can recognize that and gives you content and personalizes content based on your skill. And GraphoGame is designed for 4 to 9 year old children, but age is not the most important factor here. It can be used by younger children if they're ready for it, or older ones as well. And finally, GraphoGame and all of our different versions have all been developed and researched from the ground up by neurolinguists and researchers around early childhood development. So we have, well, a great testimony from one of our partners, the University of Cambridge Center for Neuroscience in Education, which found in a large-scale randomized control trial in the UK that GraphoGame was as effective as one-to-one teacher support, but any number of children can be playing at the same time. Now, imagine what would happen if we adapted the same vision and methodology for our English app that was researched by Cambridge to all of the major languages of Earth. Well, we have them. We've used years to research and develop this methodology and then adapt it to different languages. And at the moment, we have all of these language versions you can see in front of you available on Apple App Store, Google Play Store, or Windows on Microsoft Store. And these cover around 3.6 billion people's languages in the world. And when you look at all the illiterate people in the world, it covers 90% of them. So we're very well placed to really change the world here. So we don't just put an app on the App Store and then hope that someone buys it. When we enter a market, we put an app on Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and yes, it has a price at first, but we negotiate a deal with a local public sector organizations such as the Ministry of Education or the Inter-American Development Bank in Latin America, and sometimes even corporate social responsibility programs to pay us to make it free for that country. And we do this so that we can rapidly grow user base and become integrated in their education system while also being sponsored by a local prestigious organization that is tasked with generating impact. So now we are paid to make an app free in a country and everyone starts using us. They get used to us. We essentially become integrated and sticky in that market. Just an example of this market entry was what we did with our Portuguese app in Brazil. So we launched this in November 2020, and it was funded by the Brazilian taxpayer, and we were integrated into their literacy program for the whole country. We were even endorsed by the president of Brazil and the Minister of Education, and here you can see a picture underneath me of the president of Brazil showing our app to, well, his citizens. And since November, we've already garnered around 750,000 downloads and counting. And at the moment, we have an average rating of 4.3 on app stores, and this is thousands of reviews. We've been in the trending app, #1 trending app in Brazil, and we were 4th in the educational category in the whole Brazilian market. And now Brazilians expect to be able to use GraphoGame for the next year of students. And I wanted to finish off by really just summarizing what GraphoGame is. And I'll just read out what it says here. GraphoGame is an infinitely scalable solution to illiteracy. So we research our apps to match a teacher being there in the room. And most of the time in the world, a teacher cannot be there in the room. So apps are the best way to deliver really good content that teaches kids how to learn how to read while they're having fun without adult supervision. And we're already used by over 100% of students in Finland, and we're becoming a market leader in Brazil, France, and Colombia, where we also have made these nationwide deals. And so far, we've garnered around 2.2 million downloads across all of our apps. We have, over 300,000 users using us regularly, and we're used in around 11 countries so far. So without further ado, I wanted to show you a short app trailer to showcase what the app actually looks like. Thank you so much.
Ing. Ing. Thing. Sing. Let.